What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I just recently made a video about Terra Luna Classic, and I think where we stand community-wise, we're kind of in shambles, right? I think we can be healed. The whole entire thing can be healed, can be mended, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but I think we need to have maybe the right people in place. And it's just very interesting to see the different proposals that are coming out and where people's mindsets are. Um, about this community, about who should lead this community. And I wanted to get into that because there is a proposal here that I'm glad, is out there, and I want to see how, people end up taking it. But before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you guys check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. Um, Now, when we think about validators, when we think about leaders, um, and when we think about the community, people that are investors, decision makers, all of those things, a lot of people don't want to give one person power. But to be honest, anything that has true governance still does have someone to oversee it, or a group of people to oversee it. And it seems like the way we're headed now, we have a lot of decision makers when it comes to validators. It comes to builders, creators, just so many different people within that decision making, seat. And it changes because validators, people will stake with other validators. They will redelegate to other places and give someone else the vote. And it's just back and forth and back and forth. And that's not going to go away, giving somebody else the vote. But we seem to be flip-flopping, like the video that I just put out. We seem to be flip-flopping, and there's people that are saying yes to one thing and yes to another that totally contradict the other proposal. And it's kind of weird to me, right? It just leaves me scratching my head, just like I'm doing right now. But I was talking about the 109, 109.83 and this proposal that kind of reverses that. Since we're going back and forth with the community and not understanding what we need to do or where we should go, people are feeling like we need somebody in charge. That's why this proposal was made, and it's a very short proposal with a broken down, Agora text. Basically, it's a simple request for a direct leadership for the Luna Classic chain, proposing with enough support of the community to ask Edward Kim if he is willing to step forward to become the leader and face we need. Full motivation prop 49054. Now, this is the Agora text here. But basically, if we understand where they're coming from, Edward Kim, in my opinion, has been a person that seemed like he was the voice of reason. He was like in the middle, trying to analyze everything and understand where people are coming from. And, when he gives his support, it seems like a lot of people are flowing with that support. He did it with Classy Crypto and his proposal to increase the overall cost of putting in a proposal. And that obviously didn't do everything that it was supposed to do by taking out the scams, because there still are scams. We did see a limit or a fallback on scams that are in Terra Station that are listed as proposals and all that stuff. But the point is that when you do have support from Edward Kim, it seems like a lot of people start to resonate with that and realize that it could be a good proposal, could be a good suggestion. That's what a leader does, right? A leader is able to impact impact a decision and make sure that a decision goes away unanimously or aggressively in one direction, right? So we all find a way to agree. I try to do that where people are like, hey, we should focus on burns, but not everybody can do that. I'm not the absolute best leader. I can't be. But there are people that are really, really good leaders. And tell you the truth, Edward Kim is one of them. Talking to him a couple of times, he is one of them. And I'm sure DJ Trev would agree with me. Now, I know DJ has more of a mindset, and I haven't watched any of his videos recently, more of a mindset of like a governing body and having a couple of people that really decide the outcome of what's going to happen and where we end up going from here. But right now, since we have so many people that have their hand in the pot, and that are making these decisions when it comes to validators, it comes to just everyday investors creating all these things and kind of pitching their opinions. We need some sort of structure, and that structure needs to have clear sight, and we need to be able to agree on everything that's coming out, or find a way to agree on everything. Yeah, so this proposal was basically made that it's very important, right? To where either we want one person to, be in charge and, kind of lead us, or we don't. And I know it's going to be tough for a lot of people because there's a ton of people that do not want any type of person that should be overseeing everyone, or should be overseeing the entire community. Nobody wants that. That's what they state. But then now we start to see how things are in shambles. Now it seems like people do want some sort of structure because uh, this governance that we have in every decision that we're making, it seems like we're just making one and then going back on that. Um, and that's not the way we do things. We can't just make one decision and completely go and change it. The 1.2%, it was out here for 3 weeks, and we decided to drastically change it to basically turn it to zero. Even though it's still 0.2%, we basically turned it to zero. And then adding on the extra piece of the 109.83, we basically turned it to zero again, or more to zero, right? So we're at 0.2%, and now we're at 0.1%, while the other portion is going towards the community pool, and being reminted at that. So instead of focusing on burning, it seems like we're focusing on just burning a few, but minting some, if that makes sense. So it's definitely something that I've been thinking about. I can't vote on it because I undelegated all of my position because I needed to move it. If you don't know the information behind that, I believe I have a full video on what I decided to do and why I decided to do it. But I did end up moving it from, well, I was going to move it from Terror Station to Rebel Station, but I don't know what I'm doing at this moment. I still am not undelegated. But yeah, go and check that video out anyways. But basically it goes into detail, talking about the community and how we've been, having this lack of trust, lack of transparency, and understanding what is going on there. We know, let me see. Oh, I do have it up. We know the term terror rebels, but for the rest, I feel zero affinity with them providing solutions for the chain. So, like, if people are not trusting anyone to make a decision, especially someone that is in that decision making seat, that's what we can't have. We got to have people that we know that we trust, and a few people at that. So I think this is interesting. It may be one of the most important proposals that you vote on because it could. And who's to say that Edward Kim would even accept to really run this and feels like he doesn't need to run it? Who knows, right? This is something that still is up to him to do that, even if it does get to a point to where it passes. But it's definitely an interesting thing to think about. And I've seen people talk about things like this. I've seen DJ Trev talk about stuff to where we need a few decision makers and we need people to get paid for what they are doing so that they're not discouraged from, creating and, building and writing code and doing all the things that they do that helps the community. So we're definitely in a weird spot right now, but hopefully we can figure it out. I think we can. I think we can fight through either way, whether we figure out burning or we figure out utility or we figure out who's leading. I believe Terra Luna Classic is going to be strong. This community seems like it still is strong. So guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, at Perry8K, you can follow me there. Don't forget about my links in the description. For all my other channels, if you want to go and follow those, like my golf channel, that's fun. My NFA channel, I talk about investing, stocks, crypto. I want to talk about stocks a little bit more, and I'm going to be doing that in the coming days. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching again. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.